there. If you want, and the QR code is online. You can go in there and warm up if you want. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. There's that one.
I got you.
You got both of them?
Yep.
Okay.
Would you like a program or would you want to QR code it?
What do you want?
A program would be good.
I like a program. We'll go
Alright.
log.
And then you can go inside and warm up before your tour starts.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, look, Morris Orchard. Do you have any apple picking relatives?
Do I have any apple picking relatives or apple picking?
This is cool. This is the old train station.
Yeah, I suppose.
There you go. You can go to Richmond from here. Go visit your mum.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh, geez, wow. The United States work campaign from 11 to 18th of 1918. Because remember, it's going to be done before Christmas.
Which Christmas though?
Yeah, exactly. They didn't say which Christmas.
Did I seriously not pick up the...
Liberty bonds. That's right, Liberty bonds.
Oh, I did. I brought one. I brought one. So you just have to stick close to me.
I will.
No problem for you, right?
Oh my goodness, look at this. Hey Pip, come back here, have a look. When we were last here, we didn't have access to this room. Oh, look at this, a ring code. Oh wow.
And we got this picture. It's a slightly smaller
Oh, that's right.
version.
That's
of
right.
it. But,
1908. That's gonna look great on the wall.
it is.
That could be our first ghost of the night. Now, the sound effect that you're hearing is not a sound effect. It's actually a train going by.
Oh, so that's clever.
I was gonna say that could be the first ghost of the night that we see right in front of us.
What? Well, this?
I mean, that's a coffin.
I know it's a coffin. I know.
I want to actually head outside for the ambulance. That's neat.
Oh yeah.
How did they get out there? Oh, there it is. So I have no idea what the Wi-Fi is going to be like tonight. Just playing it by ear right now. This is It's a really good night for a walk like this. Oh, there goes the train. This is pretty freaking cool. We talk about this one. Norfolk and Western Railway was the one that serviced.
You found a way in, did you?
Well, this is cool though. I feel educated. This is the Norfolk and Western Railway. We talk about this in the history hit for the old hospital, because now these people became Norfolk Southern in '82.
There's the CNO.
Yeah, there's the CNO,
Which became
Richmond, Allegheny, and
the
Chesapeake.
Chessie system.
Yeah, the
and now
Chessie
it's
system.
CSX.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, look at this, son. Found dead on railway, 3 miles from here, frozen.
Ooh.
How can you read that?
Well, it
That one
said
they
found dead on railway, 3 miles from
Oh
here.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
He's not that clever.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been trying to decipher this
Oh.
stuff.
No, I'm not.
Missed
No,
that one.
I am absolutely not that clever.
Oh my God, that was so easy.
You should have lied.
Oh, I know. This one. This guy does.
Hi there, Chris.
So these are.
Oh, here's one that went to Gordonsville, Virginia.
Hold on, Kenny's. Get my shadow.
Are these all death notices from?
I
people
think
that-
so, yeah.
Wow.
Well, railways are dangerous places, especially.
Well,
back then.
yeah.
People would miss. If they were trying to
Hi,
jump-
Chris.
jump on. Oof.
Won't be taking comments for long because I'm gonna be going on this tour, and I believe there are performances on this tour. Interpreters. Oh, look at this, hon. Oh, I wish we could see this. Do you have a flat? Do you have your? Yeah, you got your torch.
Hold up. Just you start hearing gathering noises. Okay.
Oh, this is neat.
Why is my torch flickering already?
Well, that usually means it's a ghost hunt.
Well, there's Lynchburg. And then, oh yeah.
Basically, it's the C&O Railroad.
Clifton Forge should be over here. There's Clifton Forge up here. There's Clifton Forge. There's Lynchburg. Over up here is Fredericksburg.
Now, were you saying somebody was calling us for gathering?
Not yet. I said if we hear someone calling us.
And we're not going to go into the pest house, are we?
I don't know.
Now, the pest house is not because it was infested with pests. It was actually...
Pestilence.
Oh, it was the pestilence house. Okay.
It was a doctor that operated out of there to try and provide some relief to people who, I don't know, have yellow fever or something. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while. But I love the lanterns and things. It's a clever idea.
No, Islander, I don't think it's going to be... well, this is a very popular event from what I've been told. What we've been told, I should say. What Pip and I have been told, it's a very popular event. But we're going to be doing a very casual investigation probably at the end of this. We packed light. We only have two gadgets. And we're going to let the other folks lead the way, as it
I'll
were.
ask the ladies one.
Okay. That's my beautiful wife, Pip. Again, everybody, I'm sorry about there not being a premiere tonight. I want to make sure that it's right. And and I didn't want to necessarily have the premiere with it being not halfway done, but I always like to check. Before I go, I always like to check. And I didn't have that last review through, so... And this is the season finale, so... You just send a link on Discord? Yeah, of course, Highlander, of course. No, I'd appreciate that. Of course. But yeah. So with the extra day, Sunday, we're gonna be good for this this upcoming premiere. So Sunday at 8, I believe I said on my posting. Sunday at 8, we'll be premiering part 1 of the season finale of Old Spirits. So for tonight, we're gonna do something different. Get into the Halloween spirit. Gonna do a candlelight tour. So this should be good. I'm gonna have to stick close to my wife though, because apparently, so last night I brought a flashlight, right? I brought a torch. Tonight I didn't pack a torch, and Pip brought a flashlight. Didn't check the batteries, so it could be for an interesting night.
I'm sure I was very young.
got a fire costume. Nah. Tonight it's just me in my raid jacket. Oh, I got a fire costume. No, I don't have a fire costume. It's not that kind of a candlelight tour. But all right. But you can see people are coming down. I think they're sending out people in shifts, and I'm not sure what shift we're on, but it should be fun. I'm looking forward to this. When you said I had a fire costume, I wasn't sure because I know that's one of the hip things that people say now. Your outfit's fire, your costume's fire, your shirts are fire, your cough is fire, that kind of thing.
We should be done about 9:15 with this bit.
Yeah.
And then we're on the 10 o'clock up there, so there's about 45 minutes. But people clear out so we can move our cars so that we're up there. It's actually by the chapel.
Oh, that's where the casual investigation
Yes,
is.
and the lovely lady back there said that they're very cool people. They're respectful and concentrating on the history and stuff. So
Well, I mean, I wouldn't expect it any other way. When you're doing something like this, you're not doing the Baggins approach. Islander says aloha, Pip.
Oh,
Yeah.
kia ora.
Hey, oh, I saw what you did there. keeping it South Pacific real, yo. So kia ora is the New Zealand equivalent of aloha. Yeah. Aroha is Maori. What mahalo would be? No, mahalo means family, right?
Yeah, that would be
Whanau.
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 So they are.
Look at us being trilingual here, Islander.
They
Stick with my wife and she'll teach you all kinds of Maori stuff.
Hawaiian and Maori are of the same sort of language group, but they are different. Oh yeah, kia ora means welcome, and
Mahalo means thank you. Ohana, because that was Ohana Vet Care.
That's right.
Ohana means family. So Ohana would be whanau. Okay. Thank you. See, Islander knows his stuff.
You do. Very useful here in Lynchburg.
That's true. Very useful here in Lynchburg.
So yeah.
Hopefully you'll be able to make it to San Diego next year because I've got something in the works, my
Have you
friend.
shown them this?
Got something in the works. Oh no, I can show them. Hold on.
They got
Well,
a little.
you gotta rotate over here so it's in the light.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's got a little tour booklet. Let's see. I mean, they offer.
Well, no, it's a program. It's an actual program for all the
Candlelight
actors
tours.
and everything.
It's a production of the Southern Memorial Association. All proceeds benefit the Southern Memorial Association for the care and upkeep of the cemetery, the preservation of its history, and all its efforts to share with you. So that's nice.
That's nice.
Old Cemetery was established in 1806. Here we go.
Is this us?
I think this is it.
All my funds are designated for my daughter's cheer travel. Oh shoot! You gotta.
Oh dear.
We have friends that were involved in that. So that's some heavy duty work right there. So,
I like it. They
so
say
good luck to you, my
we
man.
are
Good luck
we
to
are
you.
home to 20,000 residents from all walks of life, racial and ethnic backgrounds, and socioeconomic status.
Yeah.
2/3 of our population is African American, and at least 1/3 are children under the age of 8. Our mission is to make the Old City Cemetery a sustainable and enduring landmark that engages the greater Lynchburg community through history and horticulture, because it is actually an
That's right.
arboretum as
Yeah,
well.
that's an arboretum. That's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
We offer history and horticulture education to the general.
Right now, according to Streamlabs, I am streaming at 4K, so can't complain.
So we're going to hear 6 stories from Lynchburg's past and learn a bit about the tour guide and the life they led.
Okay then, I think that works. So the tour group looks pretty healthy.
Yes.
Letting you know, we'll be missing stream. Got work in the morning. That's fine. Shouldn't be a problem. And I saw another chat message fly up there. So whoever that was, I apologize if I didn't see what you were dropping in there.
So the director of this worked for the Shakespeare Theatre Company in DC.
Oh.
Theatre. Huh.
It should be fun. Should be nice. I mean, I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Oh, there you are, Walker. How you doing there, Walker? Good to see you.
They've got music. There's a violinist.
Well, you can just see on the stream
Yeah.
the path we're about to take.
Yeah.
But do they assign us to a group, or do they call us up?
It's at 8 o'clock. We'll be sitting off.
Okay.
Oh, and this is nice. They've got all about the characters that are being
The actual
portrayed.
people.
The
Yeah,
actual
that's kind of cool.
people. Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Get some sleep secondhand. Thank you
Ooh,
very
they do a
much.
trunk or treat
Oh,
with Hills.
with Hill City Paranormal.
Yeah, hosting a free and family-friendly trunk or treat, drive or walk through, and stop at decorated cars.
Well, that's
Costumes are
neat.
not required.
That's neat.
Oh, they do a Victorian tree lighting on December the 1st.
See, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was thinking. If they decorate the Sandusky house, hey Cammy. If they do Christmas stuff at Sandusky, that would be a nice Christmas one. Mm-hmm. You know, doing a Sandusky, doing a holiday.
So if you want to find out more about the old city
they have
cemetery,
T-shirts. Did you happen to see they had
yeah,
T-shirts?
gravegarden.org.
What was that?
Gravegarden.org is their. They're on TikTok.
No, that's not.
I need to
that's
find
not,
them on
That's not
TikToks.
Hillcrest though. That's not Hillcrest. Or sorry, that's not Hill City Paranormal. That's
No, this is
that's the people who,
this
who
is
do
this
this.
place.
Right.
Oh, they do a colonial Christmas market here. Right, I'm glad we found this place. Well, we found it last year actually.
Well, yeah, we were here on probably on one of the hottest days of the year, and it was steamy as all get out. But
It's nice now.
it's really nice now. We got a lot.
The vibes are good.
And if you go back and watch the earlier bits, you'll see us around the other side of the train station. This is really nice. It's a really nice. See if you want to see what we're. This is the historic train station.
And I love how the lanterns and stuff.
It's going to be great.
spooky,
It's
cool.
going to be very spooky.
I can see why this is a very popular.
Well, if you love trains, hold on. I'm going to take you back.
I don't find any trains.
No. There's actually a train back here, or there was a train that passed on by back here. But pardon me. But if you want to see a little bit of train history, here you go. This is the genealogy of Lynchburg railroads. Remember this name right here, Norfolk and Western Railway. We're going to be talking about that in the history hit on on Sunday. And there's a guy I want to make sure I don't run into. A few notes from the past. But what you don't see is back that way. There's a active railroad. But yeah, if you go to the beginning of the of the feed, you'll see that we walked around inside the this historic train station. It's actually quite cool. Quite cool. There's my beautiful wife again. So are we all going as one group, or are they going to break us up?
As a group.
It's going to be a big group. Yes,
yeah.
No. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
When we get to the paranormal investigation, there'll be a lot less people.
All right.
But you know
So
what? It's
far-
always
so
nice
far I
to
can-
support a local historical.
Of course,
location.
baby. So far, we've got this is our second night of streaming at 4K at 60 frames per second.
See, here comes the previous, or one of the previous.
Oh, so that's the guide that we
Yes.
see coming down the way. There's the guide.
I love the lantern.
And I guess that's the person. So basically, they drop you off up top, and then we can move our cars here for the.
Yes. I
the-
think
for
we're
the
the
second
last.
half.
We're on the last tour.
Oh.
So
So it was done by like appointment or something?
yes,
Oh, I didn't realize that.
yes, they have it very well organised.
Get this man some water. No kidding. I'm sure they're taking. I'm sure they're taking the. Oh, dear.
I'm not going to whip out Ghost Tube until we have a moment. but I'm going to whip out Ghost Tube.
Of course you're going to whip out
I'm going to
Ghost
whip
Tube.
it out, Ghost Tube. But this is cool.
Whip your Ghost Tube back and forth. Giggity.
They have a TikTok, but they only have like 700 followers. So I'm like, okay.
Did you follow them?
Yes, I did follow them. That's cool. They do wreaths across America here as well. You can sponsor a wreath.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Come back to the Colonial Christmas market.
Do what?
You know, in Northern Virginia, I always wanted to go to a Christmas market, but they were always so far away. that I never got to see
now
them.
we're a bit closer. And
Yeah,
now we're a
at
bit
least,
closer.
I mean, 12 minutes is about as far as...
Oh, that's
Okay,
funny.
here we go. I think we're...
Cammy just said we should have brought Lumiere. All right.
But then we get mistaken
We
for
are
one
headed
of
into the darkness now. I'll see what I can stream from this point. Trick is finding the
All
light.
right, everybody. Hope we still got some people coming.
running around here.
Oh, we can do that. Doing great.
A little chilly. It's
Nice.
actually warmer than it was last night, so we have that going. Okay. My name is Ashley Meyer. I'm the historian for Old City Cemetery. First and foremost, I wanted to just say thank you for coming out to the show tonight. We are a small nonprofit. There's 7 of us all together that keep this place going, and you guys just being here tonight and supporting the show is literally how we are able to continue to keep our doors open and do the things that we do all year round. So thank you very much for coming, especially if you've come several years in a row or you've been here before. Your ongoing support is really important to us, and for all you new folks, I guarantee we'll see you next year because you're going to love it. So, a couple of safety tips to keep in mind while you're out there. If you keep yourself between those lighted candle pathways there, you're going to be just fine. So the problem is they weren't thinking about candlelight tours and parking cars and all this nonsense in 1806 when we were built. So the ground is a little bit wonky, it's not perfectly flat, of course it's not paved, so you're walking in the grass and things like that. So just watch your step. We have made the pathway as safe as possible and it is going to be completely fine. But do just watch those lights. If you have a flashlight or a cell phone light or anything like that, we are completely cool with and actually encourage you using those things so that you don't fall over. We don't need to bury anybody else tonight. Keep those lights on, but we do ask that you turn them off at the scenes.
Oh, nice job,
Also
baby.
ask for no flash photography. But the scenes are very well lit. You're welcome to take photos at the scenes. We just don't want that flash on. Stay behind your spirit guide. She's gonna walk you through the
believe this is our
cemetery here
spirit
and tell you
guide.
all sorts of interesting things about her life. And then stay in front of your rear guide, which is going to be holding this lantern here. She's over there. If you have any issues, she's going to have access to our staff. She'll be able to call us or shoot us a message. Get a hold of one of us so we can come rescue you from wherever you are.
Wouldn't it be great if Streamlabs did offer some kind of night vision? Be great.
Second, or not second, I don't know what number I'm on now, but we do ask also that you check out the sponsors on the back of your program.
Be back later, Jeff.
Those folks are also critically important to our mission here at Old City, and if there's any way that you can sponsor or, patronize those guys, or even thank you next time you see any of them.
Do you want to be at the front or at the back?
They're really important to what we do. So, check out
We'll
the
just-
program.
we'll
enjoy
play
the
it as we
show.
go.
Thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you in Cookies Insider, which I know is why you're here anyway.
So let's step a little closer to this lady.
Well, this is a lively looking group. I'm so glad you all have come to visit me this evening. My name is Katie Elizabeth Henderson Stevens, and I'd like to welcome you to my home. I've been here for quite some time, long enough to get to know most of the other 20,000 or so residents of this cemetery, which is who I believe you all came here tonight to meet. Everyone's story is unique. Just like you all have wildly different lives from each other, so have we. For instance, I was born on August 27th, 1896. I grew up in Lynchburg on 7th Street, surrounded by the love and traditions of my family. On November 22nd, 1918, I married William Ryland Stevens, a good man who worked as a motorman on the Electric Railroad in Newport News. We moved there together. Life was simple but sweet. I was a homemaker, taking care of our small home while William operated the streetcars. We didn't have children, but we had each other, and that was good enough for me. However, my time on Earth was cut short. I passed away on May 6th, 1920, barely a year and a half into our marriage, leaving William to mourn my loss. After I died, my parents brought me back to Lynchburg, where I was laid to rest here in the Henderson-Macquarie plot. My grandfather, Edward George Macquarie, was a Civil War veteran, and he made sure that our family's plot faced the Confederate section, wanting to be as close as possible to his old comrades. Our family plot was cared for with devotion through 3 generations. We planted bulbs, peonies, lilacs, even a large northern white cedar. Though much of it was lost over time, kind volunteers restored the garden in 2007, replanting the flowers and shrubs that once flourished. The peonies that were transplanted so many years ago were returned, a living tribute to the love and care that our family has shown for over a century. Now, I rest peacefully among my family, surrounded by the beauty of a garden that once again blooms in our memory. That's my story, and you'll hear many tonight. The men and women you will encounter this evening are as different from each other as night is from day, but they all have one thing in common: rumors. Gossip can exaggerate a story or tarnish a reputation. When you're dead, it's hard to set the record straight. But tonight we're going to do just that. Everyone you meet will get the chance to tell you their story, their way. A word of caution before we start our adventure: it is important that you follow me and don't get ahead. We must stay on this lit path. The terrain can be treacherous if you step off it. Holes and hidden gravestones will trip you quite easily. And my friend here with the other lantern will follow behind, so you're safe as long as you stay between us. And again, if you have lights of your own, such as on your mobile devices, I encourage you to use them while we walk, but please put them out when we're visiting with my friends. Do be aware there are other spirits out and about roaming the grounds this evening. Most will ignore you, but some might want your attention. Don't worry, they're mostly harmless. And nobody wants to scare you, they just enjoy your company. Phyllis Irving has been seen, or rather heard, lately. From time to time she wanders the graves, singing comforting songs to the poor souls who died well before their time. And the children can be little pranksters, but it's all in good fun. Speaking of which, we'll be late for school if we don't get going. Follow me. We don't want to be tardy to Miss Anderson's class.
Let's have a touch.
I do like this. I'm a sucker. You know how I'm a sucker for environmental theater and things like that.
And history. So.
And history. Watch your step, baby.
You okay?
I'm managing. oh, pardon me. So obviously this is popular for a reason, and I can already see it's off and running.
It's beautiful.
She had a great presentation voice too.
She did not need any microphones.
No. Projection from the diaphragm.
Intercostal diaphragmatic method of speech.
Yes.
One thing I learned, and it's stuck with me. Apparently we're dilly-dally.
There's not
dilly?
room to dilly or dally. Please check your dilly with your dally.
Oh, this is a pretty...
Didn't think you'd be going back to school at this time, did you?
There's always room for night school.
One more spot on the front row.
I'll take it. I'll be aggressive. I'll take it.
Oh, lots of students.
Oh yes, I think you have a full classroom this year.
Hey. All right, come on in, find a seat.
It's a good teacher walk.
Welcome in, everyone. Plenty of seats for everybody. Yes, why don't we move down the row and leave the seats at the end open so we know how many are left. Very good. Yep, we have one chair open right here and plenty in the back. Go ahead, friends.
Well, good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon.
Now that we're all settled, let's see who's here. Peyton Singleton. Melissa Slaughter. Oh, here. Joseph Vidala. Here. Amy Crisp. Here. Byron Thompson. Here. Perfect. We are all present and accounted for. Welcome to 5th grade math. I'm Miss
I'm in trouble.
Anderson, and together we are going to build on your current knowledge of basic math and start to work with more complex concepts such as fractions, decimals, algebra, and geometry. Doesn't that sound like fun? Now, Miss Franklin, I see that frown. In class, what do we do with frowns? We turn them upside down.
Very
So
good.
let's all help Miss Franklin turn that frown around. Put on a happy face. Put on a happy face. That looks so much better. Class, do you know that you, above all my other classes, hold a special distinction? Well, you're my very last class before I retire from teaching. Believe it or not, I have been here at Yoder Elementary for 43 years. That's longer than some of your parents have even been alive. So I need you to help me go out with a bang and not a whimper. Deal?
Deal.
I see so many familiar looking faces. The bloodlines run deep in Tin Bridge Hill. I've taught many of your family members over the years. When you go home tonight, ask a family member if they remember the magic math board. They will surely remember because everyone was so excited to try it. In fact, the News in Advance did an article on it in 1953. Now, I'm often asked why I created the magic math board. Well, it developed out of a project for an audiovisual class in 1949. Growing up in the same segregated school system as you, I knew that our schools did not have resources comparable to white schools. As you know, you're given books with pages torn or pages completely missing. And some learning tools are completely non-existent. Knowing that I had this one opportunity to make a positive difference, I was determined to give you the best learning experience possible. Now, that meant being innovative and resourceful. I consider myself to be a pretty good teacher, but I'm only as good as the information you retain. That's how I measure my success. I know math can be a hard subject for some of you to learn, and I wanted to find ways to make it easier. I thought, what will make my students look forward to math instead of dreading it? Well, the idea of an immediate and visually tangible reward system came to mind, and that resulted in the creation of the Magic Math Board. Want to know how the board really works? Well, since it's my last year, I'll let you in on the secret. Now, the front of the board has 60 slots with 30 math problems and scrambled answers that appear to be randomly placed. When you get the correct answer, a bright light flashes on, just like a magic trick. What you don't know is the real magic happens behind the board, which is made of plywood. Now, the back of the board is crisscrossed with 30 electrical wires, each independent of the other, running from a question slot to an answer slot. Now, the board is powered merely by plugging it into a standard electrical socket. Pretty simple, right? This board generated quite the buzz in the academic community. But what most amused me was the reaction I got when people learned that I, Frankie Anderson, was a woman. You must be related to Grace Wilson. I definitely see the family resemblance. On occasion, around lunchtime or just before, I would send Grace right up the street to my house to get gingerbread. Now, if I do say so myself, those were the best gingerbread treats ever. I tell you what, if you all master fractions, I'll make some for everyone. When it came to teaching, I had to be creative. I knew the challenges you would face. And if you can't do basic math or understand a contract you're asked to sign, or think critically before making a decision, you are already 5 steps behind everyone else. So if I'm tough, it's because I want you to be prepared for the world you're about to enter. Next time you see Aubrey Barber, ask him about sitting in the dunce row over there and how it forever changed his life. It's what I like to call a cautionary tale. Now, outside of teaching, I am very involved in many community activities. In my retirement, I can certainly see myself being more of a social butterfly, hostess, and party goer. Well, all work and no play is rather dull, wouldn't you say? Believe it or not, I greatly enjoy hosting parties and other social events. I vividly recall hosting a formal shower and reception for Miss Alray Spencer. Oh, the house was decorated with pink rambling roses and a color scheme of purple and yellow larkspur. The sounds of Mendelssohn's Wedding March wafted down the halls of 1113 Holland Street. That was my home. I literally lived there my entire life, from birth until now. A lot of living happened behind those walls. It was never dull. Card parties, receptions, and showers, oh, they were the talk of the town, at least amongst our various social circles. I digress, but surely I'd like to do more of that in my retirement. Oh dear, time surely flies when you're solving numeric expressions. Now, in this class, you will learn many things, in addition to math, that will serve you well in life. I'm proud to say, you're the reason I became a teacher in the first place. I never married or had children of my own. So you're it. You're my family, my village, my responsibility. Oh, class dismissed.
Sally Frank Anderson, known to everyone as Frankie, retired in 1969. Kids looked forward to getting to her grade. Her classroom was always filled with singing, and every child felt special being a part of her class. She was also a member of the well-known Glossolaw Art Club and was quite the painter. This coming Tuesday, October 22nd, will be the 38th anniversary of her passing in 1986. She passed away from a stroke at the age of 82. She's buried right up the hill, and I'll point out her grave to you as we pass by. But first, would anybody like to give the magic math board a try?
Anyone know their times tables?
Would you like to come up?
Professor
Give it a
Still's
try.
waiting. Nobody wants. Oh,
Here
right.
we go. We have a couple takers. I saw you back there.
Alrighty, let's see. 5 times 7. Very good.
That's clever.
Just don't touch the
Very good.
Just don't touch the
You are
leads.
smarter than a 5th grader.
you know your 5s.
Good job, man. Get an extra cookie. Yes.
Alright. There you go. Let's see if we can find the answer. It's towards the bottom.
don't want us to miss him. But feel free to try the magic math board as we head out. Be prepared for a bit of an uphill walk. This will be the steepest part of our journey tonight.
Now I just have to find my wife. Oh, there she is. I found you, baby. I found you, baby. I wasn't gonna leave without you. Besides, you're my light.
I'm your light. Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
You mean literally?
Literally, you're my light. Yeah. I took the albuterol. I'm still.
Oh, it's probably the cold air that's.
It's pretty forward thinking for the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
To create something like that. If I had a magic math board, I might have.
Buried right there.
I might have enjoyed math a little more. The world needs its magic math boards.
Oh, I know.
On the plus side, we're getting a little bit of exercise. Burning off that pork loin dinner. All right.
Tree root there.
Tree root, keep an eye for that. Whew. You may not be able to see it, but the incline is pretty wicked.
Hill City.
She wasn't, yeah, Hill City. Still feeling a little homesick for Wellington now. Missed those inclines in Wellington, did you? Whew. This is a real challenge to
Mustn't linger too long. We don't want you to get lost. Keep moving.
That's a neat view.
Yeah.
It's a very neat view.
Let's continue making our way along the path, please.
You feel like Little Red Riding Hood. Don't go off the path.
Stay on the path. Stay on the path.
If you look up, the stars are pretty good too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a clear night. I don't think you can see that, but no, the optics are not that good. They're good. They're not that good.
Can everyone see me all right? Huh? Nope. Very good.
Whoop!
Man,
Professor Steele, let's catch up with him.
a nighttime zip line. You gotta love a nighttime zip line.
Come on in, ladies and gentlemen.
The nighttime zip line.
Right on up here. Box seats over here on the left.
That's why they also want you to stay in the ways of the of the lights, because if you drift away, you might get clobbered by this guy.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's that dip?
There's a dip.
There's the dip.
My goodness! That's all the best in the world. Woo! Come on in, come on, come on! Look at all of these folks. Woo! Must have made my ticket count tonight. I love it. All coming to see my show.
You always drawing those large crowds.
I know it. For a dead guy too, I love it. Come on in, guys. All right, well, did you guys just see that spectacular landing just now?
Yep.
Woo! I tell you, I had no doubt. You see, when I jumped out of my hot air balloon more than 2,000 feet closer to heaven, I fortified my grip on this here ring, and I reminded the Almighty that I am the king of the air, Professor Walter Steele, and I would undoubtedly make another successful jump. Because I'm the aeronaut with the most hot air balloon jumps in the entire world, right up into my death in June of 1897. Now, I held on to that record even after my death. Well, at least until I died a second time 2 months later. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a man of my word, am I not? So, as advertised, any of you lucky folks which locates the goose which I liberated from my balloon ahead of me, why, that goose is now yours. Provided that you return its parachute to me over at the fairgrounds later this evening, all right? Now, that bargain does not extend to my dog, Silver, all right? He stays with me, man's best friend, ain't that right? Now, I'm gonna make another trip up to see my second grave here shortly up in Ohio, so I'm in search of a new assistant to help me on my journey, all right? My former man went by the name of Savage. You know, he was the only Negro aeronaut in my entire lifetime. Whew. Well, he was a darn good airman too, let me tell you. Much better than my wife, Nellie. Oh, she had her own fair share of accidents, let me tell you. You know, she died a second time too. Ah! You know, with us Steels, when we do something spectacular, we do it all over again. But this time even grander, ain't that right? Now, I know all you folks have traveled from all over the region to witness my unparalleled mastery of the skies. And to be honest, it's nice to see you face to face now too, because just mere moments ago, you all appeared to me like little tiny fleas chasing after me, like a dandelion in the wind. The boldness of man to think that he can soar across the heavens like a bird. Well, that is a right that's only reserved for a few daring souls like myself. And, Icarus. Yeah. Oh, but Icarus didn't share my secrets. No. You won't see me using wax to hold my balloons together. Ain't that right? Now, I was 18 when I first became an aeronaut. Born in Canada, but the United States held more exhilarating opportunities for me. You see, I appeared with everyone from Cole's Circus to the Mexican Chick Show. I even managed my own career and my wife's as solo performers. Now, if it might interest any of you good folks to travel around this great country of ours, delighting audiences with death-defying feats, well, I'm the man to show you how. Just imagine thousands holding their breath as you ascend into the heavens, and then cheering wildly as you safely return to Earth. Woo! That's magical, ain't that right? Now, I don't care if you're young or old, as long as you're strong, all right? Grip is the only thing that matters here, all right? Now, if you're gonna work for me, you're gonna have to do some important jobs, all right? Number one, you gotta dig a big trench in the ground, just like this one, all right? Now, my balloon's 42 feet tall, largest in the United States, all right? So, she's gonna need a mountain of air to get her up going good, okay? So, make a big old bonfire in that trench, get it nice and hot. Now, to inflate the balloon, grab a couple other strong lads and take the fabric over to one side and let the hot air fill her on up, all right? Now, you gotta hold on to her tight, because when she gets a lot of air in her, she's gonna be fighting you, okay? She's gonna be wanting to go free. But you gotta be careful not to set her on fire, all right? I make every one of my balloons with these own two hands here, and I do not want to have to cancel an ascension just to make another one. Ain't that right? Whew. All right, so my chute here sits on the outside of the balloon. And at 2,500 feet up, I'll be ready to make my leap. So I grab onto my ring and I jump out of the basket. Now, I'm gonna fall maybe 100 feet free fall until enough air fills up my chute. Then all of a sudden, pow! The fabric gets pulled upwards and my descent of 1,200 feet per minute is abruptly stopped. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most dangerous part. Because if I'm not ready for that jerk back, well, I'm gonna lose my grip and I'm gonna fall all the way down to my death. I don't like thinking about that though, so maybe we just move on with the story. Ain't that right? You know what? Legend has it that my first death right here in Lynchburg, Virginia. Oh yeah! See, June 1897, it was over at Riverfront Park by the big pavilion down there. And on that day, everything had been going splendidly. I had just crested a giant oak tree when all of a sudden, this giant gust of wind came out of nowhere, slammed into my basket, flipping it upside down. Oh, I barely had time to grab my ring before I fell out. And I was sitting there dangling like 30 feet below. Another gust of wind hammered into me, sent me soaring across the heavens. Ugh, I felt like a nail in a hurricane, totally at the mercy of Eurus and his deadly easterly winds. Well, suffice it to say, I fell into that giant oak tree right on the side of a ravine. And let me tell you, the sound was horrendous. The breaking of body and branches as I fell that last 100 feet through the tree, finally landed on my head in the rocks in the ravine below.
Ouch. Oh.
Yeah, a doctor came out of the audience, pronounced me dead right there on the spot. But I gotta admit, I don't think I needed a medical opinion, if you know what I mean. Now, my death was widely reported all across the United States. And some stories were a little more gory than others, you know? Sensationalism sells, ain't that right? And my death was most assuredly sensational. Now, even more than that, although my wife had died 5 years earlier, back in 1892, in her own fiery balloon accident, in 1897, the chief of police received correspondence from a Mrs. Walter Steele inquiring about my remains. So, if that's not funny enough that my dead wife was communicating from beyond the grave, in the following 2 weeks, a second Mrs. Walter Steele and my apparent fiance both asked about my remains. You see, I was quite the ladies' man in life, thank you very much. Oh, I shouldn't get into that part of the story though, ain't that right? So I was buried down here at the Potter's Field for a short time till my brother came down from Ohio to figure out what had happened to me. They had to exhume my body, of course, to properly identify me. But once that happened, he shipped my body back up to Ohio to bury me there. The location of which is a secret that I've taken to my grave. Okay, all right. So I was such a fantastical aeronaut that not even death could hold me down. No, see, 2 months later, August 1897, more news reports started to circulate like wildfire that me, along with this other fella, had another terrible balloon accident up in the Tri-State Fairgrounds in Toledo, Ohio. Oh yeah. So on this occasion, my chute completely failed to open, and I plummeted all the way down to my death. The other fella, his name was Leroy Northcutt. Yeah, he burned to death when his balloon caught on fire as they were trying to inflate it. But we both met our thrilling expirations simultaneously. Woo! Now, if that's not a story you good folks can't take home, I don't know what is. Ain't that right? Okay. I know this is getting kind of gory. I get it. But I got to hand it to my wife, Nellie. She takes the prize for the most atrocious death of them all, okay? See, back in 1892, she was performing up in Columbus, Ohio, and she was maybe 300 feet up in the air when all of a sudden her balloon caught fire in 4 places and exploded.
Oh, jeez.
Whew! she fell like a rock, hitting the side of a barn. Her skull instantly broke open, and then her body bounced across the road. Oh, it was terrible.
Happy Halloween,
I'm
everybody.
serious. But her news of her death also spread like wildfire all across the U.S. And even more than that, more news stories came out for the next year and a half that she was making more jumps and more accidents all the way from Ohio down to North Carolina. You know, in 1893, the year later, that was her most notable year on record. It's true. Now, unlike Mr. P.T. Barnum, we Steels don't like to perpetuate a hoax on you good audience members, all right? So, when you see a Steel jump out of a hot air balloon, you know it's for real, no matter when it happens. Ain't that right? Now, it is definitely getting a little dark. Woo, dear. I better pack up my chute and start my lookout for my balloon. Oh, I hope it didn't land in the Jane's been floating down river this entire time I've been talking to you delightful folks. I better get a move on. Okay, so I'm hoping that I see the face of my next assistant in the crowd. Yes? Yes? Okay, so if that's you, I'll see you at the fairgrounds tomorrow morning, all right? And for all you other nice folks, I hope you see my next show the next time I come through town, okay? Because with a Steel, you know it's gonna be a spectacular performance. Ain't that right? Thank you. Thank you all. Woo! Thank you.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Walter Steele, known for his ingenuity, he was the only balloonist to make the jump at night with an illuminated chute. He was also known for his feisty disposition. He once got into a fist fight with a vendor in a beer tent at a fair in North Carolina, causing the town to question its decision of allowing intoxicating drinks anywhere near the fair. Walter frequented the newspaper offices of the towns he visited, and in 1897, the year of his first death, one reporter stated that he proved to be an interesting talker, but would swear sometimes. Walter lived his life to the fullest and brought excitement with him wherever he went, and now he certainly does the same for us here. We must keep moving, though. Court is in session, and the defendant is waiting on us.
It's pretty fabulous.
Oh, you got to be fabulous if you're doing a nighttime zip line. Come on. But man, that was a awful way. Awful way to go. Exploding parachute and all.
Yeah, don't run into that.
Got it right in the middle.
Around that.
Oh, I didn't even see that hook there.
I know.
Should be hanging a hook. They should be hanging a lantern off that. Okay, branch. Sort of maneuvering our way around these.
This must have been quite a show for the people that came to watch.
And a real deterrent for anybody who said, yeah, I think I want to figure out man-made flight. Then they see this guy plummet. They go, maybe not. Maybe not.
We'll wait for a couple of bicycle repair men to
Yeah,
figure that out.
a couple of bicycle repair guys from Dayton, Ohio. Here, they got nothing to do in Ohio.
I wonder if every year they do different people.
Oh, do they?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear your question.
It was actually my wife. She wondered if they did different people every year.
I think they do.
Oh, with 20,000 people, you've got.
I mean, with 20,000 people, you got the pick of the litter. I'm sure there's some that are favorites. That was just a very well-timed yep.
Here comes the curb.
Curb. So once again, it's a night of step up,
Curb.
curb. It's a night of stories, and only this one's a bit more. This one's a bit more dramatic. Dramatic.
The cemetery looks lovely with the lantern.
Oh yeah.
I must get a lot of.
You just don't realize just how. Well, now you're realizing just how big the place is. Just stay on the path, and you won't trip over anybody's final resting place.
Gentlemen of the jury, before you stand the young woman, Miss Arabella Dormer, facing charges of infanticide. As you know, Arabella and her mother are two of many recently freed slaves living in the refugee camp once known as Camp Davis, the mustering grounds of our Confederate troops. Since the war, Camp Davis has been taken over by the federal government and rechristened Camp Schofield by the Freedmen's Bureau. You've heard how on the night of August 9th, Officer Dogood spoke with the Dormers, inquiring
Something tells me this is gonna get dark.
Arabella had delivered just the day before. You've heard his testimony that she told him that she had put her infant in the hog pen. You've heard the evidence, or lack of, in the case. You've heard the testimonies of the men who stood before you claiming that this young woman, who nearly died in childbirth, had the presence of mind and physical ability to get up from her bed and throw her infant into the hog pen. Now it's time you heard from Bella herself. What have you to say for yourself, Mrs.
I know what I've been accused of. I know what those papers say about me and my mama, and I know what those people said we did to my baby, but it's not true. I haven't done nothing but try to take care of my baby. You've been out there and it ain't the same. We're all looking for a job, a way to feed ourselves. President Lincoln said we're all free now, but he didn't say anything about what to do with that. So me and my mama, we don't got no home and no jobs except for what we could find washing petticoats and fixing dinner for some of you men. Now I know we got Camp Davis, now that the North is sending down men who don't got no place to go to take care of us, and it's not so bad, a pallet to sleep on and a cover for our heads, but I still ain't got no job. I didn't have a way to feed no baby either, but that don't mean I did what those men said I did. They said that me and Mama and David killed my baby.
Now, Bella, do you mean young David Vassar, the barber's apprentice who has been implicated as an accessory in this alleged crime?
Yes, sir. David is my friend from a long time back, but he's been free now since before the war. I was in a bad shape after birthing my baby. I was real sick, and I couldn't get up, so Mama called David. We had a plan for my baby, but that plan wasn't to hurt my baby. It was a plan to protect my baby. So Mama called David, and David came because he's my friend and because he was going to take my baby and put him just inside of Camp Davis where someone could find him. I even had a clean petticoat to give David to wrap up the baby, my boy in, keep him nice and dry. Camp was full of families. Some of them with a mess of kids, and one of those families could take my baby and feed him and give him a fighting chance, because me and Mama were starving, and David has a job cutting hair like his daddy, but no man can feed a baby. I was sick, bleeding for days, laying there with cold chills and the fever. I couldn't eat anything or keep down the water that Mama was trying to give me. I thought I was dying and my head kept spinning like I was having a bad dream. Sometimes Mama said I was saying nonsense words, talking about things that ain't never happened, things I ain't never seen. And then the police and the soldiers came in, asking me if I threw my baby in the hog pen, asking Mama if she knew. Now I told those lawmen I ain't never done something so awful, and I told them the truth, that I couldn't take care of a baby. But I was so sick after giving birth I couldn't get up for a fortnight, and they thought that I put my baby in the hog pen. Now this court has a doctor's note that says I was too ill from giving birth to come in, and that some 8 soldiers had to carry me out on a stretcher. So how am I supposed to take my baby anywhere, much less out of that shack and all the way to the hog pen? I bet not one of them thought of that. I never got a chance to hold him. Not not even for a second, and I can't hardly remember what he looks like. When my mama was holding him, because it went dark so soon after. So I spent all night looking for my baby in that hog pen, and I did not throw my baby in that pen. The next day, soldiers came back and they told me that they had found my baby in the colonel's yard under a bush, and that a doctor had examined his lungs and determined that he was born breathing. Like I wouldn't know my own baby was born breathing. Even in my state, I knew, because I could listen to that wailing for the rest of my life. So they spent all night searching for my baby in that hog pen, and they didn't find it there. And then they arrested me and Mama, and even David, and I still wasn't sure if I lived. I thought I might die in that tiny room, but I didn't die. And I never thought I'd see David again. I know he got hauled off like me and Mama, but he's a free man. He cuts and shaves all the men who live on 9th Street, who live in those houses that used to be so nice before the war. His daddy taught him, and after his daddy died, he took over. Some of those men are in this courthouse right regular. I know one of those men got the money to get David out of jail. $215, can you believe that? Because I ain't never seen that kind of money in my life. I don't know how, but I know the man that got David out of this mess, but I ain't heard from him since. It took them a month to get me out of bed into this courthouse. Now they're saying that me and Mama killed my baby when all we wanted to do was give him a fighting chance. All I want to do is go somewhere out of here. Out on the streets, they're talking about freedom of the liberty.
Now that you've heard her testimony, gentlemen of the jury, we ask that you consider the evidence and find Miss Dormo innocent of these heinous charges. Let her poor baby boy rest in peace, and let her and her mother do what they can to rebuild their lives as we rebuild this nation.
Are you finished yet? Am I getting to leave?
In 1867, Arabella and her mother were sentenced to 5 years in the state penitentiary. They appealed the decision, even asked the mayor for a pardon. He denied it. One of the papers said, had they been manhoods, the mayor would have pardoned them. No one knows what happened to them after they served their time. It's possible Arabella changed her name, moved to a new town where no one had heard the story of what she had been accused of. Maybe she died in prison. There's no record. The newspapers ran the story that Arabella had fed her baby to the hogs, calling her fiendish. That's the type of rumor a young black woman at that time could never recover from. Arabella's baby is here, still in the potter's field, and we take very good care of that beauty. We have a bit of a hike now. We best be moving on.
So I just discovered a new feature of this app.
Yeah.
I could zoom in. I watch your step here. There's probably some. Oh, there's a stone right there. Yep. Oh, behind what? Oh, the
Lady behind you.
yeah. I knew about the lady. I saw the lady. I saw
Didn't
the
want to
lady.
trip over the gravestone.
I had a feeling that one was going to get dark. This is really well done. This
Yeah.
is really well done. I'm enjoying it.
And a perfect night for it too.
Perfect night. It's in the Halloween spirit. I hope everyone who's watching. Good night, Chris. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. Hope everybody's enjoying this, because I'm enjoying it. And I'm enjoying bringing it to you. Give me my hand, huh?
No,
Take my hand, boss. You know, I've never seen that movie. I've never seen the Green. I know it would probably break me. It would probably break me.
Do you like crying?
Yeah, exactly. Do you like to cry? Then we will watch The Green Mile. I mean, if I had my choice between prison films, I think I'd rather watch The Green Mile than The Shawshank Redemption. I think we're holding everybody up.
There's more people behind us. There's a bit of hollow there.
All right. Getting more stories and more history tonight. So if you're looking for some spooky history tonight, you're gonna get it.
Nothing? That necklace sure is pretty. It's prettier on me. What about you? You got anything? I ain't here to hurt nobody or nothing. Just dump a little coin in my satchel and I'll be on my way. Those spectacles are nice and shiny. Is everything okay back here? I thought I heard. Anne, is that you?
No.
Anne, these are our guests. Yeah, I did not invite them. Don't be rude, Anne. Give them back their things, whatever you took. What do you need with it anyway? See what I mean? You lantern holders are all the same, you know. It's like let all the power go straight to your head. Besides, it ain't personal. A girl's gotta eat. And we're dead, remember? No,
Can you hold on to this?
I was just fooling with you fine folks. It's just in my nature, I suppose. Don't be shy, gather around. I promise I don't bite. You see, my thieving propensities come to me honest, straight from the 1600s. Bold, fierce privateers roamed the seven seas, taking what they wanted and giving nothing back. I am Ann Kidd, after all. A direct descendant of the pirate captain himself, a chip right off the old block, you ask me. Now where I'm from, down on the river in the part of this town known as Buzzer Roost. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do to make a living, if you know what I mean. It was the 1800s after all. It's been written in my neighborhood that it's the wrong. We're the most rowdy and disreputable class of fallen women and tough men. I mean, sure, we ain't got no thunder and cannons, plunder and treasure, or heavy seas. But I've done my fair share of swashbuckling, been caught swiping $1 on occasion, got fined once for taking $8 right out of a man's pocket. It's about $300 in your time. Not sure you folks have done to the dollar, but well, I've done time for more than that. Oh, I don't mean to scare ya. My mama's house, this is about as fine an establishment you'll find in these parts. She'll treat you real nice. We got a cook, a maid, even a piano. I know, right? Come on a Friday, Saturday night we got folks dancing, playing cards. Oh, you'll love it. Ask for Isabella Kidd and tell her Ann sent you. She'll get you a good deal on the room if you want it, that is. Now, I am what the daily papers refer to so kindly as a sprout. Meaning I'm the child of a, how do I put it, remain a lady? Woman of ill fame. Kid? I ain't a lady anyway. Mama was a hooker. Isabella Kidd specifically, the first person on record to own a body house in Lynchburg way back in 1807. I guess one could say I followed her into the family business. Am I proud of it? Well, I don't believe pride has nothing to do with it when you're looking after your own survival. There's lots of us down by the river. It's tough to be a woman. Especially a widowed woman, a free woman of color, or a single mother with a horde of little hungry things. Most of us ain't got an education. Honest work and honest wages are reserved for men only. So we do what we gotta, and we look after each other. If you're looking for work, give your girl a holler, and I'll take care of ya. Decent pay, where you want to need, and your kids can come too.
two kinds of them, but they have shoes on their feet and food in their bellies. Now, men come on the packet boats from miles around just to visit Buzzard. Did you know? During the war between the states, we gotta get them boys away. The docks are full every night, and who can blame them? We got taverns, gambling halls, and of course the body houses. It's different than you might imagine. Some come for just what you'd expect. They enjoy the pleasure of a lady and then get on out of there, back to their wives in fancy houses on the higher streets. Others come for a good time. A drink, a game of cards, a dance with a beautiful lady. You know, creature comforts. I suppose it ain't so easy being a man these days either, but not to worry. Got a little something for everyone. If your pockets are a little light, you can enjoy a room on the main floor of the house. You'll still have a nice place to sleep, hook to hang your hat on, and the ladies will certainly take good care of you. Now later on you have far a bit less than the rooms upstairs. Well, now they're appointed with the finest linen and room service. We serve good food, the stuff men crave through a hard day's work, and gin and whiskey too. Ooh, speaking of gin and whiskey, let me tell you, there was a lot of fighting in the streets, mostly between the men a little deep in the bottle, if you know what I mean. But us girls got right into it too. When a John stiffs us or gets rough with another girl. But sometimes, girls, we were bored. There ain't nothing to do down there, especially not in the heat of summer. And you know, the papers complain daily about the crime and carrying on down there. They sure didn't seem to mind it was us girls keeping doing business. Some of the things they wrote, I'll say it's my time. Journalists sure knew how to weave a tale. You know, folks say a lot of different things about my great-great-granddad, Captain William Kidd. And there's a fine line between a privateer and a pirate. A fine line between an upstanding woman and a buzzard spout, too. But honestly, this world isn't good to some. You gotta make your own way. Sometimes a little hornswoggle is called for. You know, the truth is, I've never seen the ocean. I know, right? I'm told it's just at the end of this river. I've heard the men on the path talk of it, how it glistens in the sun and turns on a dime. How it makes you feel small just to stand on the edge and look at it. I always hope maybe one day I get my hands on a bateau. I call it Adventure Galley. Just like Captain Kidd's ship, and I can pull my way down there. But I never got no coins for it. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. No matter how much I snag or try to snag from the pockets of folk like you, I can't leave these gates. Hey, if any of you happen to find my grandfather's treasure, promise to come share it with me. I know I ain't got much use for it now, but I would really like to see it. All right, well, I guess I better go find the folks I snagged off earlier before it's turn knickers in the twist. At least I keep things lively. Hey, I see you guys. Well, I did say that there would be plenty of spirits roaming the grounds, didn't I? I had expected some pranksters, but I'd forgotten all about Anne. If by chance any of you are planning on taking her up on her offer, she is buried right at the front entrance of the cemetery. You can find her grave. It's the third or fourth one on the right-hand side. Anne died in 1830, back when just that first acre of land made up the cemetery. In fact, many of the famous madams from Buzzard's Roost and the Red Light District are buried up in that spot. And they usually keep Anne under control, but it must be a busy night for those ladies. Let's continue.
It's pretty neat.
That was fun. Girl knows girl knows a sea shanty, but she has never seen the sea. That's a contradiction in terms right there.
We already knew about Buzzard's Roost.
Yeah, Buzzard's Roost. Or what they would call it today, Party Central.
Oh, move into the curb.
Okay. Okay, curb and cobblestones.
Curb and cobblestone.
Curb and cobblestones. Double C's. Oh. Nice little ramp. Hearing the train during that. Ooh. Ooh. Hold your light up that way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that the
That is
aeronaut
that
still
that is
flying
the
around, is
aeronaut. Yeah. That man was top in his class in projection.
Oh, look, an obelisk.
Yeah. One of the things I will say that I do like about these type of tours, no jump scares.
No, I don't like that.
I don't like jump scares.
I like historical stories.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to be imagining the aeronaut hitting every branch on the way down.
I know, right? And then having the rocks of the ground break his fall.
The walk down. Tina would love this.
Yes, she would. No, but it's better than it's better than a jump scare. Okay.
Oh, look at that. There's a rotunda and stuff.
Do what?
There's a rotunda right there.
Isn't that a Christmas hymn?
I think this is the bit where the soldiers are buried.
Oh, that makes yes. If only ghost hunting were that easy. If only it were that easy. Do you see the lady in white? Because I see the lady in white, and I would love it if we could get. Yeah. She's in tune. Okay. Break left. Break left. Yeah, we're wandering through soldiers' graves right now. American Civil War graves right now. That's really well done. That's really well done. I love that.
Look at that over there. That's beautiful. She sings beautifully.
When you think that every casualty was an American, that makes it even more heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now we're getting to the...
Are we at the pest house?
Yes, I think we are.
I believe we are.
That is the...
Oh no, that was the Confederate cemetery we just went through.
Most of the Union soldiers were reinterred, taken back to Richmond, or taken back to
Yeah.
their home.
Yeah. That really was well done. That was very well done.
It's so beautiful out here. Haunting, one could say.
What?
Haunting, one could say.
I saw what you did there.
Now, I brought you roses today, though I know you've never had much interest in flowers. For my eldest child, Catherine, well, I brought you your favorite daisy. For Mary, I've brought you orchids, just like the ones in your bridal bouquet. And for my darling Nellie, sunflowers, because they remind me of your bright eyes. Tuberculosis. 9 out of 10 of my children were taken by that cursed consumption. Well, there was just nothing for it. Good food and fresh, clean air was all the doctors offered. Well, but food was costly, and the air was poison where we lived in the city over in Daniels Hill. And to make matters worse, we all of us had to work. just to put a little food on the table, make the rent each month. What bright children they all were. So full of life, even when we didn't have but rags to wear and soup to eat. You see, before all this, my husband John, well, he died back in 1900. We had raised our children on a farm where there was fresh air and wide open spaces just for miles around. But after John left us, I wasn't able to keep the farm running. So I moved, me and my 10 children, here to Lynchburg. We had heard there was opportunity and work to be had in the city. Now, when we arrived, we found us a little 3-bedroom house over on Dabney Street. I was just hoping our luck was turning around. I was still grieving the loss of my husband, but doing everything I could to take care of my children. Now, some of them were grown. Me and my 3 eldest girls, well, we could work, and we found jobs quick down in Mr. Craddock's shoe factory. Now, some of us worked in the South Land Annex, that's over on Jefferson Street, and some of us worked in the West End Annex. Did you know that that shoe factory ended up becoming the 5th largest shoe factory in the world? Right here in Lynchburg. Why, we made over 100,000 pairs of shoes a day. Everything from combat boots to baby shoes. I thought losing my husband John was the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And even then, I didn't know if my heart would ever recover. But if I had known then what I know now about those factories, well, we'd have never left the farm. You see, working in those factories, well, it takes a toll on the body and a toll on the spirit. We worked long days, sometimes 14, 15 hours a day. Now, we did make a better and more reliable wage than we ever could have on the farm, but it was just never enough. Eventually, all of us had to go to work, even my littlest one. Now, women, they made less than men. Children made even less than that. And every little bit did help, and the way the factory boss saw it, well, if you were old enough to operate a machine, then you were old enough to have a job. And when you are in a desperate situation, well, a mother does anything she can to provide for her children. And just says a prayer every day that they stay safe. I lost 5 daughters in just 2 years. 1903 to 1904. My 4 eldest girls and my littlest, Pauline. The very next year, I had to bury my teenage son. Now, after that, I thought we'd be okay. I had moved us to a cleaner part of the city, and I even took the girls out of the factory for a time. But just 3 short years later, we lost our Margaret in the winter of 1908. She had been doing so much better all through the spring and summer. The fresh air had proved good for her. But we fell on hard times again, and Margaret had to go back to the factories. We thought she'd be okay. She was so much stronger. Then wintertime came and she took sick again. Now, after we lost Margaret, I really did think the worst was over and that we had made it through the toughest times. And I was gifted 6 beautiful years with my 3 remaining children. Thanks to the ladies of Lynchburg, they came together and they took up a collection for my family. You see, they put out a call in all the daily papers asking for anyone could help. Food, clothes, but most importantly, getting us out of Daniels Hill. Thanks to the good graces of my Lynchburg community, they got us up out of there. Not once, but twice. Can you believe it? Again and again, the charitably disposed of this city has wrapped around my family in our times of greatest need. And I know without them, I would not have been blessed with those 6 years. My little Edith Olivia was taken in 1914. Once again, it was the consumption that took her, just like all the others. She was only 14. Her dear little friends, they're the ones that carried the flowers up here to her graveside when we laid her here to rest. And now I'm to bury my last son. We made it to 20. Wouldn't you know, it was tuberculosis took him too. It is a terrible sickness. work in the factories with all the filth and the dust, day after day, hours and hours of back-breaking labor, and then you go back to the slums and you try and make a home with its toxic air and its crowded spaces, nothing but water and potatoes to fill your belly. Well, it wears a body down. You can't fight off sickness if you haven't had good rest and proper nutrition. And that's what happened. That's why so many of them came down with the consumption. You see, it lives in the filth and the dust. And when you work in it all day, and the factory chimneys are just spewing it into the air, and then it gets into your lungs. And when that happens, it is a fight to break free of it. And my babies were just too weak. I don't know why I made it. Now, Willie, my only surviving child, well, she's got little ones of her own now. She is all I have left in this world, and by the grace of God, I think she'll be all right. But of course, President Wilson could not keep us out of this war forever. And her husband's gone off to fight, leaving her all alone to take care of those babies. Willie's gone back to the factories, just to put a little food on the table like so many others have. But things are changing. Too late to save my babies, of course, but the people in charge, they are starting to see what working in those factories does to children. Now, Willie will be all right. Y'all just say a little prayer for her now, won't you? I just know that her children will never see the inside of a factory. Things will change.
Despite having to go back to the factories in Lynchburg during World War I, Willie lived to the old age of 75, and Celia got to live with her until her own passing, watching her grandchildren grow up. Celia was born in 1859 and lived to sometime between 1930 to 1940. Right around that time, there was a big change happening in this country. Child labor had officially become an issue of concern to the federal government, and in 1938, Congress finally passed a child labor law, the Fair Labor Standards Act. Children under the age of 18 were no longer allowed to work in factories. I have one more friend who is just dying to share his story with you all. Come with me and let's go visit Mr. Henry Crichton.
Thank you, folks.
That's a tough life right there. That's a tough life.
Well, I think of the pictures that of the kids working in the, the shoe factory. They were all very
or the coal
skinny,
mines.
no weirdly, working in a shoe shop, no shoes.
Yeah, I know, right?
No shoes. Imagine losing 9 kids.
Imagine having 10. That's the thing. But it's funny, when she was talking about tuberculosis, when she says it gets in your lungs, first thing I thought about was my grandfather.
There's the pest house.
Yeah. But I couldn't help thinking about Pawpaw.
We'll be going down some steps into the road.
Stay with me, Chad. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Hold on, slow down, I'll get the...
Steps are right.
Watch that hole.
Yep. Oh.
Oh.
Engine.
I'm expecting Christopher Lee to come out any moment. Do not stray from the path.
Yes.
You know, I should have been playing Gandalf. Went steps.
Short legs.
I know, short little leggies.
This way, everyone.
You're gonna have to double the stride, baby.
I wonder what your mum would think of this.
I don't think she'd like the walking. But I think she'd enjoy it nonetheless. Whoa, watch that step. Watch that step. Hop, hop, hop. I almost regret not having my Fitbit anymore. I know I'm getting plenty of steps right now. You good back there, baby?
I was going to take a picture. It looks like
No. We gotta hustle. We gotta hustle.
Welcome, welcome. Please come on in and make yourselves at home. Good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome.
it looked too neat.
Welcome in. Take a seat.
Is somebody getting a is there
Is there
a high school band?
I was going to
Barry?
say, is there a ghost marching band we're about to meet? Because I recognize
We
that
often
riff.
hear the children of the nearby school practicing.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Okay.
lovely sound to hear.
Especially when,
Seats, everyone. Make
Come on
yourselves
in.
at home.
Make
especially when you're a
yourselves
band
at home.
geek.
Welcome in,
Especially when you're a
everybody.
band geek.
Yes.
Please come on in.
Oh, that chair is chilly.
Welcome in. Plenty of seats.
Such a lovely night to be out.
Well, it's Friday night.
Welcome, welcome. Good evening. Please come on in. Make yourselves at home.
Yes, plenty of seats on both sides. Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Welcome. Good evening. The
Welcome
chair's
in,
open.
everyone. We also have
We haven't
row of
closed
seats
yet.
right
T, you
over
need a
here on
haircut.
this
I
side
do
as
need a
well.
haircut,
The one in the graveyard? Did you
Got
ever
one
think?
good customer.
but not.
Welcome, good evening. Please come on in, make yourselves at home.
Let's go
I
all the way
want somewhere.
towards the
I
end
want
of
somewhere
this
better
row
than
so
that.
that everybody can get a spot. Scooch all
Yeah,
the way
Master
down.
Barber would know
Thank
how to
you
do
so
it.
much.
That's true. Probably get it with his eyes closed.
Fill in, everybody.
There's some seats over here as well. Good evening. There's a seat right here.
Wonderful.
I do need a
All
haircut,
right.
but I don't know if he does ladies yet.
That's true.
One open seat on this end, one open seat right here. We have one open seat in this row as well.
And there's a seat right here.
I imagine that's a
Anyone
hot
need
seat.
shade?
Chair. You don't have to sit next to anybody. Is that everyone?
I believe that is everyone.
All right. If you got a feeling you're not looking your best, your beard's unseemly and your hair is a mess, I can fix your problem at no time at all. Just look for my name and give me a call, and that's Henry Crichton at your service. Step right up, folks, and don't be nervous. I'm a friend by nature and a barber by trade. So sit back, relax, and your day will be made. My name is Henry Crichton, and I'm the owner proprietor of this barbershop. Always the first one to open and the last one to close, as any of my regulars could tell you. I charge 25 cents for a haircut and 10 cents for a good shave. Folks who frequent a shop like this can tell you there's always stories being told in a place like this. Usually the tales being told, they tend to concern me. Usually because I'm the one telling them. That there's Harry, my oldest boy. One of my 11 children. Yes, that's right, 11. All of them fine young men and women, each uniquely gifted with artistry and creativity. I was born about a day's ride southeast of here. My father, Winfield Crichton, was descended of Scottish lords and owned a pretty piece of property over in Amherst County. My mother, Martha Jane, an African Indian woman, was a slave to my father. But from the first, he recognized me as his son. And he, along with his two sisters, raised me in the Crichton household to be a proper young man. I may not have had much, but I had my father's name. Henry Crichton, yes, that's my name. I got it from my father and he got it the same. Raised me up in the world best as he was allowed, so I'll carry his name and I'll make him proud. I served dutifully as body servant to my father during his service in the Civil War under the command of Jubal Early. Once he fell in battle, it was my solemn responsibility to return his body here to Virginia, slung over the back of my gray stallion. I left for the war barely more than a boy, but I returned a man of experience. During my time in the service, I developed a knack for cutting hair, and I figured it was as fine a trade as any for a man to make a living. Before long, I opened up my own establishment and got the reputation of being an expert at my craft. I became a pillar of the community, making myself known to people across the city, throughout the state, and every so often to a few international visitors. One of the notable visitors was the crowned head of state, the Emperor Dom Pedro of Brazil. A fine man, a fine leader, a champion of culture and science, who, on a diplomatic trip to Virginia, just so happened to be passing through the city of Lynchburg. Only there was one problem. Nobody here spoke Portuguese. Nobody except for me, that is. You see, when I was a child, I accompanied my father on a trip to Brazil where I'd hoped we'd move to a society that was free from slavery. While immigration didn't work, we returned to Virginia, and it did leave for a few stories to tell. And I picked up a bit of the language while I was there. So when the mayor and his posse was standing around stammering, not knowing what to say or do, I walked up to the emperor, stuck out my hand nice and firm, and said, "Hola, como vai? Henry Crichton, and I'm pleased to meet ya. Welcome to our city. How's Virginia treat ya? You honor us all with your style and grace. And if you need a trim, just swing by my place." One of the greatest joys of my life was meeting people from all walks of life. And like the emperor, people from all over the world. Once I had this Danish professor of piano in my chair, a man by the name of Jerichow. I was giving him a haircut and a shave, and we started discussing my children. And after a bit of gentle cajoling, I convinced him to come back to my house and hear my children play music. He was so impressed that he stayed in Lynchburg a few extra months and gave my children free lessons. I told you my children were talented, and I like to think they get it from their old man. Henry Crichton, yes, this is my song. And now that you've heard it, you can sing along. My door's always open, as you can plainly see. Talent's in the family, and they get it from me. I love this community, and it loved me in kind. When I died, white folks and colored folks alike showed up in droves to bid me a fond farewell. I may be gone, but I do hope a little bit of my legacy still lives on. So if you got a feeling you're not looking your best, your beard's unseemly, and your hair's a mess, I can fix your problem at no time at all. Just look for my name and give me a call, and that's Henry Crichton at your service. Step right up, folks, and don't be nervous. I'm a friend by nature and a barber by trade. So sit back, relax, and your day will be made. Well, looks like y'all ought to be heading on now. But I do hope y'all come back and see us again soon.
It's a heck of a finish. Heck of a finish.
Henry had no fear for standing up for what was right. Once, Andrew Johnson, while on his campaign trail, spoke to a crowd here in Lynchburg, and Henry, highly discontented with the speech, went up and pinched the future president's nose. In another instance, Henry's daughter, Julia, was the victim of slander by an organization that targeted black school teachers. Henry saw the leader of this organization passing by his barbershop and shot at him with a shotgun. The man lived, but the newspaper, the wallpaper of the bank across the street did not do so well. Henry went willingly into police custody, and the mayor bailed him out on a $100 bond. At the time of his passing in 1899, Henry was living at 408 13th Street, which is now Three Roads Brewing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You all have been such a delightful group, and I'd like to treat you all now to some hot cider and cookies, if you'll follow me this way. Oh, and if Anne pilfered anything off of you earlier in the evening, I'll be sure I get it back to you. Right this way.
This was a really well done presentation, production. I don't know what you'd call it.
Well, it's a theatrical.
It is an environmental theater sensation. This was environmental
like
theater.
the thing that Evil Cheese did.
Yeah. But that was really cool. I'm glad we did this. Kind of gets you into the mood too. Gets you in the mood for spooky season.
Andrew Jackson deserved a lot of things.
Being
punched by a
Yeah.
man of color who was pushed to the bar.
He was the presidential equivalent of Jewel Early. Okay. Watch the dip here.
There's the dip.
Dip. Dip.
And here's the road.
Yeah. All right.
Well, so how are you enjoying Lynchburg so far? Last night, Sandusky.
Last night, Sandusky. Tonight, the cemetery, the old cemetery.
Now we're having cider and cookies.
Having cider and cookies with a ghost. Oh, car, ATV.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. For you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Stay warm. Stay warm.
I'll sure try.
Oh, it's cute.
It's her.
Yeah. So that's what they gave us.
That's so sweet.
That's clever. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and here are all the people. Probably here are all the people that we just met tonight.
Hey, would you take this?
Oh, this
The likeness
is neat.
is uncanny. Yeah, there it is.
That's so neat.
Yeah.
Oh, look, and there's her magic board.
The magic board.
And there's her house.
What's that?
And there's her house.
Right.
And here's Walter Steele. Oh dear.
Yeah, I love how they put professor in quotes.
Well,
Yeah.
Professor.
Really well done. Really well done.
Ooh, that must have been the unfortunate man fell a distance of 100 feet, striking against limbs on the descent.
Ouch.
Probably
Ouch.
a
Henry Cricht. That was really, really well done. Oh, look, hon. They even have a commemorative magnet.
We should get a commemorative
Yes,
magnet.
we should get a commemorative magnet for the fridge. Commemorative magnet for the fridge. We just got to figure out where to pay for said. I'm not really hungry for cookies.
I'm gonna have cookies. Can I buy some things? We do it. The lady right there in the corner. That's what I want here.
I'm gonna grab a cider though. I will grab a cider.
Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Going for the hard pitch.
The cemetery itself is actually open from dawn to dusk every day. We have
Food for die for.
Come see us on the 14th for a colonial Christmas.
Oh,
We've got vendors and other events going on as well.
food to live for, food to live for, and food to die for.
Cemetery, honey?
Ooh, I don't know what you make
No,
that
they've got a
cemetery
beautiful
out.
gardens here.
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's
you
true.
know.
They do.
Sorry, y'all are trying to get out of the way.
But this lady is where we buy the magnet from.
I'm not going to give you my cookie, but I would like that.
I don't want that.
Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, hang on a minute, hon.
Cookies are to die for.
Ooh. Okay, I already have a pumpkin spice, but I think I'd like to try their apple cider donut coffee.
That's the second most popular of the fall
Really?
flavors.
Really?
Now, I call it a fall flavor. This is French. We normally get it with our fall stuff. This has been the most popular, but apple cider has been the second.
That's funny.
I like the dark roast blend, and we are one of the only people locally here that carry it. Some people carry the canned drinks, but
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Bones Coffee.
I'll give you the cider donut since you've
I'll do the cider donut.
been a good boy and you came along with me. It doesn't do much to you.
What? I was going to let you do this
I
by
don't
yourself.
hear much protesting.
No, he's a recovering actor, so maybe next year you can try out for
There's no such thing as recovery.
Nope, no such thing. Oh, did you see this chocolate stardust? You said the Ziggy Stardust is chocolate stardust.
So those are our late summer flavors.
I did bring my wallet, didn't I? Hold on. Yes, I did.
If not, we take Apple Pie. You never know what we might take. Apple cider donut. And then
a little magnet.
So I actually made that tan peanut.
Aw.
So wait, so is the Bones Coffee? Is that a local?
No, they're out of Florida.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
But like I said, not a lot of people carry them, and actually they fell in love with the artwork and then fell in love with the coffee.
artwork's very
What did you see of the Frankenbones?
It's very unique.
Chocolate and hazelnut. Well, now we know where to come when I eventually run out of coffee.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
At any time.
At any time, it could. Or you can just decide you don't like what you have. You need a.
I hate to break it to you, I love what I got. So,
Now, what
but
do you normally drink?
so it's a company called Madrinas, and to give you an idea, the last coffee I got from them, one of the coffees was a vanilla bourbon coffee. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. that would have to.
Yeah.
And you just tap to pay or slide in a party.
They also do a cinnamon bun, and they also have their own pumpkin spice. But
Okay.
they do not have an apple cider donut, so I'm all on that.
Yes.
So there you go.
Well, we have another order coming in next week. So.
Okay, great.
What an amazing place.
Yeah,
Well,
it really was a lovely. We actually were here
year
last
ago.
summer.
Okay.
A year ago,
all
last
right.
summer.
And you did the self-guided tour?
Yeah, but this was really delightful. So I just want to let you
Moved to
guys know.
Lynchburg,
Yeah.
partly because of the history and stuff. So.
Well, thank you. Come back and see us.
We definitely will.
All right.
Oh, we will.
And I hear you do Christmas stuff as well, right?
Yes, so December
Oh, there you go.
14th. There you
I
go.
will be on that.
Welcome.
She's on it. She's on it.
Now, if you guys are enjoying those
Those are nice.
delicious ginger cookies, the recipe is on page 109 of our Die For cookbook.
Man, they are working this. They are
If Food to
working
Die
this.
For isn't your thing, we've got a food
I love
to
it.
live for.
I love it.
So
Oh,
get
should-
some.
A food to live for.
All of them have fabulous
You didn't hear me say that?
recipes,
No.
Yeah. Food to live for and a food to jump
history.
for.
I was actually surprised at the amount of history in the Food to Live For cookbook that I was just flipping through. So check them out. We also have an open
Someone in my chat,
just down the middle.
Rain, just said, Bones Coffee is the best. It's the only stuff I buy.
Well, we've got it now.
Well, now I got something to try. Rain, how are you tonight?
Other local artisans.
If you missed it, I just went on a walking candlelight tour of the Lynchburg Old Cemetery here in Lynchburg, and we're going to be doing a very casual investigation later on. Oh yeah, here you go. Here you go. And as you can see, Lynchburg is not shying away from the season.
The prostitute was my daughter. I mean, she still is.
We trained her up on how to be a prostitute for that, and now she's
And like I said, I would have tried that vanilla coffee, but the thing is, I got this Madrinas vanilla bourbon coffee, so I can't say no to that. Whoop, I lost my wife. Oh, you're getting pictures? You getting pictures? Did you want to wait for you outside, or are you good?
You go outside, I'm fine.
This is
I'm just going to use my cider.
this is intense. It's very intense. Yeah, don't lose your cider, baby. Don't lose your cider. It was a terrific night. In fact, if you take a look, you'll actually see this is the path that we followed. I don't know how much you saw of it, Rain, but these are the paths through the cemetery and around. Oh, actually, right up on the top of the hill. I don't know if you can see it, although full moon tonight, so always nice. But but if you see the lights going up there, that is called the Pest House, which is short for pestilence. but it's they've got like a arboretum up there. They have a they've got lavender, they've got basil, they've got all kinds of stuff there. For anybody that's joining me late, hi, how are you? My name is T. You can call me T Monster or Twitch Dad. And tonight I am just walking around the old cemetery of Lynchburg, the place that we being my wife and I just moved to. And we're getting into the spooky season. A little bit later tonight, we are going to be doing a very casual. Well, what time is it, baby?
I was just about to check that. 9:38. So we've got
Okay.
20 minutes.
So we got 20 minutes, and then we're going to be doing a. Now, here's the thing I need to. The disclaimer, everybody.
It's not our investigation.
It's not our investigation. I'm going to step into the light so I can talk a bit. So, the investigation tonight is not OSI. It is Hill City Paranormal.
Yes, Hill City Paranormal.
Hill City Paranormal. So we brought a few gadgets, and were you part of the thing tonight? Thank you. Oh my God!
Wonderful.
I thought so.
Really good.
you nailed it. You freaking nailed it.
The whole thing was very impressive.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. We just moved to Lynchburg, so
Yeah. I'm a recovering actor. I got my degree in theater from James Madison. So pre new Performing Arts Center. I was in there when our experimental theater was a black box in the middle of a parking lot, and then they just leveled it and turned it into a parking lot. So that's okay. But no, it was a wonderful production. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Really,
Thank you.
well done. So the thing tonight, the ghost hunt tonight is not OSI. It is Hill City Paranormal. We are going to be guests. We're going to be low-keying it. I only brought like 2 gadgets.
we're not streaming it though, are we?
I was planning to stream it.
All right.
I'm streaming it because I couldn't do my premiere tonight. So the premiere, though, just for anybody on YouTube or on Twitch, the premiere is happening. It's just happening Sunday night. It's going to be Sunday night at 7, and it's part 1 of our investigation of the old hospital on College Hill in Williamson, West Virginia. A lot of stuff happened there. A lot of stuff happened there.
It's a busy month.
A lot of stuff happened there. I need alcohol in this. A lot of stuff happened there. But this was actually something that my wife of Infinite Awesome put together. Or actually,
You're welcome.
yeah, my wife. You've had 2 banger ideas in a row.
Yep.
Last
You're
night-
gonna have to listen to me for all the things now.
I do. Last night we went to a place called the Sandusky House, and on that casual ghost tour, we actually caught footsteps on the floor above us when nobody was on that floor. And if you want to see that in the VOD, that's live right now, so you can check out that VOD. Tonight was just a terrific production. It was just fun, just good
It was
fun.
pretty magical, actually.
It
Look
was.
at the lanterns going
I
up.
already got a shot of the lanterns. Yeah.
And there's the pest house.
Yeah. I already talked about the pest house as well. My wife is getting caught up. She was doing pictures inside. But anyway, Rain, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Hope all
Tina
is
would
well.
love that.
Oh, Tina would have loved this. Tina would have loved this. So did we park up here or did we park down there?
There. And then we walk down, right?
I think so. I think so. So, Hun? Pip? You're okay. That's what I thought. You're
Here, give
looking
me
for a
that.
trash can. Okay. Really nice work tonight. Really
Thank
nice
you
work.
so
Thank you.
much.
No, thank
I
you.
hope everybody there enjoys as well.
Oh, yeah. I got some good stuff. Thank you. Yes,
Great.
yes, they did. She's on it. She knows what's what. She knows what's what. But yeah, so I actually have a contact for this place we were at yesterday, the Sandusky House. So I'm pretty excited about pursuing that. So yeah, if I'm not doing the spooky, I'm gonna bring people the spooky adjacent and the history. History's why I do this. That's why I do this.
Walk down this way, babe.
Shall we go down? Okay. Since I wasn't sure where we would be winding up, I gone ahead and brought the collapsible stool so that if we need to put a flat surface,
I think
something.
by the sounds of it, we'll be in the chapel.
Are we going into the chapel?
Apparently, I think.
All right. Still,
Oh, I think this is where the bar is.
I don't remember parking up here. I remember parking at an angle. Maybe I did park up here. I guess we'll find out.
Uh-huh. Well, the lady did say that we can... Oh, I don't know. Now I'm...
Are you
Get lost
sure?
in a graveyard.
Are you sure that we can take our car?
No, that's what the lady... Well, she said once people clear out,
Oh.
you can park up by the...
Fair enough.
for the...
No, these are this was the carriage house. I remember the carriage
Yeah.
house.
Let's go back and ask. Let's go back and ask.
All right. We'll go back and ask.
I do not want to get lost in there.
Well,
Looking for somewhere specific, or you're looking for your car?
No, we're doing the paranormal thing.
Oh, is that happening tonight?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
happening tonight, yeah.
Very nice.
Where did we start? Was it down there or is it down that way?
That is a great question. I do not know. But you know, one of the attendants in the gift shop would probably have a good idea.
Okay.
Or the station house where you started and
Yes,
checked
that's
in
where
is
we were.
that direction.
Okay, right. Well,
All right.
we'll be fine. That's where we parked. So
Awesome.
Travel safe.
wonderful performance.
Right back at you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Let's go for a little.
For a little jaunt. Get a few more steps in.
Yeah. So have people been enjoying the show? I know I have been.
Well, rain came in. I'm assuming rain came in a little late.
Yeah.
And
Did you tell them what we were doing?
well, I'm getting everybody caught up now because I couldn't talk during
See,
the
here's
during
our
the tour.
car.
Yeah, there's our car. I see our car.
But
And then that was where we started down there.
what we'll do is we'll go down there.
And we'll just double check and make sure that everything's copacetic about us moving said car.
Yeah, she said that the chapel is down this way. In fact, I think it's probably that.
I'm assuming they've got the lit candles to get us there. But first things first, let's make sure let's make sure we find first where we're parking. Ooh. Ooh.
And it's a full moon.
And I thought last night I got a really good full moon shot. Maybe I might actually have a choice of full moon shots from last night and today. Okay, hopefully somebody's here because I don't see anybody down here.
Yeah. Well, there might be a sign for the chapel. Now, she did say chapel, so
Right.
we'll leave it to one side, babe.
Right. Yeah, but we're creeping up to 10. That's the thing. We're creeping up to 10. Do you want to bring? I tell you what. Do you want to bring the car up this way? There are other people bringing their cars up this way. So why don't you bring our car up this way?
Yeah. Okay.
I'll find us a place. Honey, hon, you've got the flashlight. All right. I will try to find us a place to park. The joys of going out for an adventure, right? Oh, then that is a full moon. All right. So yeah, there are cars parked up here, and there are cars coming this way, but I can't tell if those are cars to leave. Can't tell if these are cars to leave or cars to go towards the next thing, which is the paranormal investigation. The Pip says that there's a church up here, but it doesn't look like it. Oh wait, no, I see the church she's talking about. Okay. You know, this whole dark hang on a minute. Wait, I'm walking towards. There you go. But this whole walking in the dark, it reminds me a lot of the first couple of paranormal streams I did, because the first few paranormal streams I did, They were all in the dark. They were all in the freaking dark. It wasn't so much streaming as it was theater of the mind. We learned a lot in that time. Now, is that my wife? That is not my wife. Well, for one, I could hear the engine. All right. How you doing, everybody? Good to be here. Good to be here. Hope that little tour you enjoyed, and hope you had a good time there. I sure did. Okay. So according to Pip, this is where, yeah, this is our next stop. So there we are. Oh. Hey, Bax, how are you, man? How are you? Good to see you in stream. I'll be changing the title of the said stream once my wife gets up here. So after we did the tour of the cemetery, I'm going to change the title to call this Lightning Round Paranormal Investigation. Not my wife. Not my wife. Okay. Okay. Now I just gotta wait for the wife. Once I wait for the wife, she can park up here, I hope. We're about to find out. As far as I know, she's on her way. There we go. Lightning Round Paranormal Investigation, a touch of haunted history for Halloween. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of cars go by, but I'm not seeing any of them for my wife. I know she's got the keys, so that's the important bit. Okay. Hey everyone, I found my light. I found my light. All right. So one of these next cars that should be coming up, particularly it should be the one that is silent, that will be my wife, because we brought the Leaf. Yeah. For all the cool things we've been doing on this stream, unfortunately, real life on the outside's been kind of tricky because the Volt is on its final leg. And we're saying farewell to the Volt very, very soon. A little sooner than I wanted to, but it happens, right? And you know what? After 126,000 miles, I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain. That car has done us exceptional service. It's gotten us to all different kinds of places. thought I heard my wife's car. But now we are resigned to the Leaf, and we are but we're looking at another all electric car, this one with distance. The Leaf has a decent range, but it's not like 200 or 300 on the charge. So we're actually gonna go for broke, and we're gonna get a car. I think I see her. Is that the Leaf? That is the Leaf, yes. She can see me. Come on up. Wife is en route. She's also got the gadgets. And right now there's an ATV behind her. It's kind of surreal. Okay. Let's find a parking spot for my wife. Okay, we're over here. My wife made it, everybody. She made it.
Feeling spooky?
Feeling spooky. Telling stories out of 10, Guillermo.
Oh, we're here. This is the chapel.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the chapel where it's at? Oh, pardon me.
The lights are on. There's people in there, so
Well, shall we go in then?
we'll go in.
That's what I think we were doing. I was wondering, what was taking you so long?
I couldn't figure out where it was. I didn't want to miss you. So I went back and asked the lady. There was a lady who was not. I would say maybe a map would be a nice thing to have.
Yeah,
in the program.
Well, stuff happens. All right. Yeah. We got here in the end. This is it, yeah.
Isn't it?
Hill City Paranormal. Would you mind getting the door?
I'll get the door for you, darling.
Thank you, my darling. Everybody, I'm about to go dark, but we'll be back in a few.
Oh, I'm getting the door for you.
Hi, everybody.
We found you.
Camera? I have a live stream. Thank you very much. We are live right now. We live.
All the way around.
I'm T. Nice to meet you.
I'm Philippa.
And this is my wife, Philippa. Sean? T. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
Hello,
you.
I'm Pip. Hello. Nice to meet you.
So I'm gonna.
Well, we'll wait for a few more people. Looks like we got about 5 more people on the list.
All right.
Oh, okay. What a beautiful space.
Yes, welcome. What will happen is once everybody gets here, I'll give a brief rundown of the history of Old City Cemetery. I'm sure you got some of it on the candlelight tours, but I'm not sure if they gave you actual cemetery history or just, okay.
We'll keep that part brief. We do a little bit longer on our actual public investigation. Our public investigation is a lot more investigating. This is more of the educational side of what we do. And it's pretty much gets you prepped to be a customer. And then we investigate some too.
The bartender down at Waterstone said that he wanted his Waterstone to be included because he knows it's haunted, but the management wouldn't go for it.
Yeah, I was about to say, so I've attempted to contact them and their management just doesn't want to be able with that, which I respect. There's a lot of buildings like, you know, Academy Center of Arts, yeah, not Academy Center of Arts, I apologize. Amazement Square is actually one of the oldest standing buildings downtown.
Wow.
But because they're affiliated with children,
Right.
you know, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, but you guys do adult night.
And the only people who are gonna find out are people that are interested in investigating. So.
They're afraid of stuff being public.
But here's the thing. You
Oh,
can't.
if you're live streaming, just don't tag Old City Cemetery.
No. Well,
Oh, they can?
I put it in the title, but.
No, it's okay. So every Friday in October, we're doing paranormal nights for Old City Cemetery. It's on
Right.
their
Right, so you
website.
can, right. So you
So-
can-
That's right. The rules changed for this.
But I was going to say, you can't say it's Lynchburg anymore because Ghost Stop is headquartered here. So I mean,
Yeah, they moved here.
what? Yeah, they moved here from St. Augustine, or somewhere from Florida. I don't know if it was St. Augustine, but yeah.
I'm loving this food.
Yeah, CVS.
CVS.
No way.
Yeah.
Not two of them, because I'm
Yeah.
CVS is leaning in now.
Yeah.
I almost like, I was gonna wear like, I got like leggings, I got like the whole, you know, I got like the whole outfit, but I had to work just before I came here, so I was like, well.
So I didn't bring this to flex, but I did bring a couple of toys.
Hey, listen.
I'm not going to try flexing with you.
No, listen. I say this wholeheartedly.
This is like
There is we're different type of investigators. Like you flex on me, then I will take notes and learn from you.
We don't do any flex.
I am not a hater at all. Like, I will learn from you.
Especially since we just moved to Lynchburg.
Old Spirits Investigation.
Hey, listen, I'll learn from everybody. I'm not one of those, I know how this feels, I know why you said it. I know why. Well, listen, if you do something that I don't know, or you have something that I don't have, I'm gonna do it. Show me how to use it.
So this is a Ghost Stop. I swear by this thing. This was my
I asked
first
him to post something about that. Last week, I had like 4 ticket holders reach out to me and say, I think the gate was locked. And we didn't know that they locked this
I'm gonna ask
He's
you
going to be
what
talking
your
to you all night long.
We're gonna have a conversation about it.
So then I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts on the
They're not
dead?
guiding people here.
So, dead bills. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Please.
When I got it, I want to take it. Okay. This is. I took it, and we collaborate. We're all about parity. And we'll talk more after.
Yeah, please, please.
I took it and investigated with
Hello.
Oh, I know those guys, yeah. They're
Good
really-
job.
Yep.
All right.
What's the name?
I was investigating around the
Trisha.
I have not
Patricia
met
times
one.
3?
I've learned. And
Patricia, yes.
And
The only
then,
person we met.
is there somebody else?
Paige Walden, time
Okay,
2.
so I was investigating.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was
Paige Walden.
Paige here actually with us. And, she
I can't hear. I'm
said,
deaf. What was the name?
"You're
of
in
it?
here, can you make that bill
I do
with
not have that on my list.
and
When did you
that
create
bill
that?
ding, ding, ding."
Who is Paige?
I mean,
Okay, hi Paige, I'm going
On the pad. Ding,
Patricia, is that
ding. Then
you?
she
McBride,
said,
right?
That'd be me.
That's you?
Yeah.
You look familiar.
4 times. Ding, 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 ding. Bill, pop, ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
That-
Did you
I love
purchase them
it.
today?
No, I
They
know.
texted me the list at like 4, so it probably got purchased after that. Okay, so Paige Walden, times 2, purchased. I'm making a running list because there's 2 other people here that purchased this morning as well. Please have a seat. I'm still waiting for, looks like 2 more people and then we'll get started. I'm gonna wait probably another maybe 2 to 3 minutes. If they don't show, they'll kind of come in the tail end. But yes, please have a seat, welcome. And if you guys, just so you guys know, this gentleman came in a few minutes ago, he is live streaming. So we're gonna wait about 3 minutes for, I'm still waiting on 2 more people. I didn't miss a Leanne, did I? Okay, I did not. So we're waiting on 2 people. If she doesn't show up in the next couple minutes, we'll go ahead and get started. Or what are you gonna say?
Oh, no, I was like, I was thinking like, so I should remember like watching or calling tea, so like every time I hear like tea, I'm just like, I'm like, yes.
He's Thomas.
Right, and I'm a Tamara, so I'm like, there's so many people that go like, are you Tamara, are you Tamara, are you Tamara, and I'm like, just call me T. So there's a lot of people that call me T, so when you guys walked in and you were like, oh, this is T, I was like, oh, because now every time I hear it, I'm gonna be like, yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
I make sure she cool for
We're having a
That's just so much easier than the type it.
and I'm not lying, I'm gonna say right.
Where are you from?
No,
What is your accent?
no, the pip, because I have a cousin who has
Oh,
a
okay.
young girl, and I immediately, and I know it's not IP, but like immediately I hear the accent and I think, I'm a fish. She loved the show. So I hear the accent, it's like, I'm like,
Well, I'm from New Zealand originally, so I
moved
don't
there.
think
I
we
really,
yeah.
so I have an uncle who's from Australia, and actually my aunt met him because she went to
Nope. See, I have Australian cousins.
I feel like that's
We are Australian and New Zealand cousins that fight.
now that like I'm hearing you talk a little bit more, like it sounds so
Yeah. It's funny because we lived up in and people said, I don't know, my accent wasn't strong, but
It was the Wildwood Sanatorium of Salamanca.
I love
Salamanca, New York.
Salamanca, New York.
Welcome, welcome.
But yeah,
What
when I
did
come
you
down,
get?
we
That's
were
okay.
lunch for like 2 months.
What are you?
yeah.
Everybody this weekend.
I just want to make sure everybody.
Like the more you talk, I'm like, oh, all right.
And nobody understood me, so my accent must be much stronger back then.
So like my uncle, he has, and like he's been here now since he was in his 30s, and like his accent is still, and I don't know if it's because he. Then we had to drive. Like you are. I stopped going there first. I was like,
Oh, good.
and I've spent a lot of time with his relatives.
Attention class.
Okay, we're taking
I
notes.
figured I'd make everybody look forward.
I appreciate that. We want to make sure to maximize your time, so I didn't mean to interrupt your guys' conversation. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
He's about to have a pig. Yeah.
I am not related to Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig? Wow, that's a reach, baby. Wow.
I wish you played like one of those.
This is tea. Tea. This is tea.
Oh.
Hello.
You upset tea when you said you were tea.
Hi, what's his name?
RYPKEMA.
Is that the first name?
Oh, it's so skinny.
Barbara?
Yeah.
Did you
Well, this
have
will
it
be where later
to
they
first
have
your
funerals
this
and
morning?
stuff.
No.
So the last name was
You better hold on to yours and break it.
I want to see if I can. I'm going to write to my guy and say, please tell me.
times two.
Friday nights.
I'm just making a running list. I've got a few people. We had a couple of logistical systems, so I wanted to make sure. You did get your email though, right? In case there's any issues.
We were here last time. It was just a group of us out here trying to get research.
Yeah, that I still do
Okay, sorry about that, guys. There was a slight ticketing glitch, but anyway, I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean.
We are Hill City Paranormal. If you guys do not follow us on Facebook or TikTok, there's our socials at Hill City Ghosts. We also have a podcast that airs every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We interview other teams. We talk about all things paranormal. If you have sensitive ears or might not, appreciate maybe a little bit of the language, I would tune in. We talk about the good. You never can tell. We've had guests on there, and we don't have a filtered podcast. So I just like to put that disclaimer out there. Anyway, before we get started, you are at Old City Cemetery. Have all of you taken the candlelight tours?
Yes.
Okay,
Fantastic.
awesome. So you got to hear about the wonderful actors and actresses, and we have one spirit guide amongst us as well. Not to put you on blast, but you might recognize her as your spirit guide if you join the candlelight tours. Old City Cemetery is a 200-year-old cemetery. There is over 20,000 known people buried here, emphasis on the word known. It is an estimated belief that there is anywhere upwards to another 20 to 30,000 unknown. Unfortunately, the city just does not want to put funding into the geographical devices that it takes to find underground dead people. And so we really don't know how many bodies are here. Old City Cemetery was originally known as the Old Methodist Cemetery, and it was a very small cemetery. And John Lynch gifted all of this acreage and then Old City Cemetery. Less than 50 feet that way is the site of Lynchburg, Virginia's first public hanging. If you guys have ever been to Old City during the day, there's a swing right there and there's a big placard in front of that. So you might have seen that.
Swing, that seems a bit.
Across the street over here is the Potter's Field. A lot of people that have been fallen victim to crime or, unideal death are buried there. There's also a lot of infants and children that are buried over there. Underneath this chapel right here is a columbarium. So this is where a lot of ashes are kept in the walls. There's also one full body in the ground and one pending. I like to say that because she has purchased her plot. She's going there.
Okay.
So there is one actual body and the rest are ashes. So just surrounding this chapel in which you're sitting is a lot of obvious death. Okay, we've been investigating this cemetery now over a year. Well, actually it goes way back.
I was about to say, a long time.
Probably 15, but we've been doing a lot of research here for these cemeteries over the course of the past year. And the evidence that we've captured is compelling. I will pass around in a few minutes a picture board of some of the full body apparitions that were caught.
Oh, jeez.
One being in this chapel, one being in the Confederate section, and then one more being in a section when you first come in the entrance. The chapel is one of my favorite places to investigate just because I get my most activity here. My other favorite place is probably the museum. On site of Old City Cemetery, I don't know if you guys walked by it, was the pest house as well. So that was also served as a Civil War hospital during the Civil War. Dr. Terrell, it's up in the air, Terrell or Terrell? We've heard both. So Dr. Terrell practiced medicine there until the day he took his last breath. So Sean is our equipment tech. I'm gonna have him go over some of the pieces that we utilize to investigate. If you have any questions, feel free to stop him, or if you have any other questions regarding the history, I will be more than happy to answer those at the end.
Please feel free to interrupt me too. I want to try to get through this pretty quick, but also in detail. What Paranormal Fridays was mainly about was to basically educate the general public. There's believe it or not, how many of you watch the Ghost TV shows? Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, y'all familiar with it? Okay, well, a lot of people don't watch those shows. And so a lot of people think that as a paranormal investigator, what I do is I come in here at night and I conjure demons, or I'm a devil worshiper, or I'm a Satanist, or I'm actually a Christian, believe it or not. But that's what people think that we do. And so there's a lot of people even on staff that think that that's what we come in here to do. We're drawing pentagrams and trying to call up to whoever, Satan or devil or whatever evil spirits. That's not the case. What we do, I can't speak for every paranormal investigator, but I can speak for my team and the people that I know. What we do is we're looking for research. We're looking for answers. We're looking for just different things. And my personal goal is to be able to show proof of there is life beyond death. And so my first thing is I don't step on anybody's religious beliefs. I don't need to know everybody's religious beliefs, but I respect everyone's religious belief. I actually got called to do a case in Kentucky. And the lady told me that she didn't believe in anything that we're doing. It was her friends that wanted to know if we were investigating what was going on in their place, and I respected that. I'm not going to argue. My job is not to convince anybody of anything. I respected that. Let's just say by the end of the night, I don't know what's going on here. I said, well, I don't know what's going on either. I don't try to tell anybody anything's a ghost. However, so some of the things we use are tools. Now, this is probably not even close to a third of the equipment that we take out on the investigation. I basically gathered some things that I take out and that anybody can take out to start an investigation, or if people don't know where to start. There's a lot of people who've never done this before, and they're like, Sean, what do I get? What do I go? So I try to go with the least expensive stuff to the most expensive stuff to just anything you guys can go out and get. So we'll start with something very simple. Everybody's got one in here. The best tool to start your paranormal investigation with is a cell phone. When I first started paranormal investigating, they didn't have any equipment that was made. We just had to go to Home Depot or Walmart and we had to figure out what we could do to make things happen. And that lovely train goes by every hour, so you're gonna love it. But your phone has what on it that we use as investigators?
Camera.
Camera. We've got cameras that are worth thousands of dollars. We've got cameras that are great, night vision, infrared, full spectrum, which I'll go over in a little bit. I caught very little on those cameras, and all of these apparitions minus one were caught with a basic cell phone. And I'm like, man, why buy these cameras for? But I'm dead serious. Your cell phone catches things for some reason better than any high-tech camera out there. I know people who've got high-tech cameras, never caught an apparition on one of them. But the people that are on our public investigations with us, which we'll go over later, and people, you know, just in my team, just pick up their phone, snap, oh my God, look. I'm like, God, whatever. You know. But that's what happens. Also, what else does your phone have on it that we use?
Microphone.
Microphone. Your recorder. There's many different types of recorders. I didn't grab one, but I grabbed my favorite one, which if you're an investigator, you've seen one of these before. You might drool over this one. This is the Panasonic DR60 recorder. Don't go looking for one. Please don't. But it's my favorite recorder. This is one I even caught an EVP in here tonight. Did I erase it? Yeah, I erased it. But I caught one tonight. We're going to have an EVP session as a group in here and see if we can get anything to speak. So when you're catching EVPs, always ground yourself. If you're in here tonight, you're like, I really just don't believe in this, and you know, I'm just here because it's something to do, and we're looking for something spooky. Negative attitudes cause negative results. If you've ever been paranormal investigating, you really just don't believe in it, that's fine. I'm a skeptical investigator myself, and I will go over equipment that I use to debunk myself. We spend more time debunking our evidence than we do actually capturing evidence. I know that sounds crazy, but we do. And so I'm gonna go over this funky looking machine here. This is a RF detector. You'll see like the cell phone signal on it. And the reason why I say that is because we have her favorite piece of equipment, the REM pod. Something as simple as an RF signal can set that REM pod off. You ever seen one of these on the ghost shows?
Oh yeah.
I know you want to talk about it. I'm gonna let you. You ever seen these? So on the ghost show, what happens? They'll all be in a dark alleyway or a dark room, dark hallway. That thing starts going nuts. And what does everybody do? Did you see that? And she's going to demonstrate what happens on some of these TV shows. So we have a REM pod, and what it is basically, anybody heard of a theremin, a musical instrument? Remember those old horror movies where it's like, am I old?
No, Day the Earth Stood Still. Ooh. Bernard Herrmann, he made an entire soundtrack with a theremin.
Exactly.
Star Trek. I'm old too.
Star Trek has it too when they were doing it, little thing. All right, so basically what it is just, that's what it does. Well, guess what else can do it? If you're in here, you say, oh.
It's a ghost.
Hands.
You don't see that? Oh my God.
I think she's a production assistant.
Hands.
That's your favorite TV show right there. I hope I didn't ruin it for anybody.
Actually.
Anyway, I set that off with a two-way radio, is what I did. So we do carry a lot of two-way radios on our investigations, especially in larger locations. And we utilize them solely to cut them on, let the other people know where we're at, and cut them back off. We're not sitting there all night going, hello, because people have equipment up and it's going to set it off. Yeah. So every time somebody radios in, everything is going off. The other thing that will set the REM pod off is that lovely training gear. Now, we are far enough away to where it does not set it up here. But if I'm down at the train depot or the Hearst Museum, it will go off right there. All your equipment will go off. So it's kind of one of those things, like Sean said, that we spend more time debunking ourselves to make sure. So a lot of the times in some of our live videos and on our TikTok, you'll hear us say something to the effect of, is everybody in airplane mode? Because if our equipment's going off crazy and there's no explanation for it and we're all in airplane mode, now we might be working with something.
Simple Facebook messages, text messages, all that can set it off. That's why it's my least favorite. However, I've seen this thing do amazing things. We were at Ferry Plantation in Virginia Beach. She knocked on the wall and said, can you complete this? The REM pod actually beat that same sequence. Beep, 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 beep. she told me about it. I didn't believe it. Now, I believe my team. I love my team. I respect them. But when they told me that, I'm like, no. There's no way. How? I'll go back, I'll watch the footage, and I'm like, staring at it. I'm looking like a dog, like, sideways. I can't debunk that. So, that, you know, also we go into the candle rim pie. Now, why would I have a rim pie that looks like a candle? Anybody